What's up, YouTube? Thought I would show some puppy foundation work with little Solenya. This is Megan handling her while I'm doing the puppy foundation work. You'll notice that the puppy ends up biting a little bit high on the tug, and that's alright. That's both my fault for the presentation and just the puppy's natural reaction. In this clip, you'll notice a lot of the work is pretty calm. And the reason for that is that this puppy stimulates very easily. What I'm doing there is showing a little bit of pressure along with stimulation from the stick and then working on bringing her back to a calm state. One thing I've noticed in the foundations I've done on puppies in the last few years is that I don't touch the bodies quite enough. So you'll notice Megan petting the dog. That's just to make sure that she gets used to being pet and touched all over, but also know that there's a handler behind her encouraging her. You'll notice me pushing on her head, using opposition as a way to both calm her and reinforce biting down hard on the tug. One thing Megan does really nicely here is after the puppy drops the tug, she gives it opportunities almost to get it, but not quite, and really encourages trying as hard as possible. Here we switch from posting the dog up to letting the dog drag in. One thing you'll notice is right when the dog's about to get the bite, she lets it drive in as hard as possible and then pulls back immediately to set that grip. That way there's no way the puppy can be lazy. In Frenching, it is imperative to start the object guard at a young age. The younger the better, 7, maybe 8 weeks old. You'll notice our criteria here is just stability on the object. After the puppy drops the tug, I take the tug and put it in the same way that my leg would be. That way I can mimic the puppy biting a leg sleeve since we didn't happen to have a leg sleeve in this time. Notice how we're starting to work on a little rotation and then stop, stabilize, and reinforce the stability of staying on the object. Here we go to calm, cradling on the object. That's because we want to keep a clear head. In the last clip, I walked a little bit quicker than I should have. You'll notice that I slow my pace down as I start circling around, and I find that I get more stability out of her with less thrusting forward. So I reinforce the stability by stepping in with the tug and letting her bite. After she drops the tug and I pick it up, I decide to circle left. After I circle left, I'm going to go back right without giving her a bite. Now this is good and bad. The good of this is that we start pushing the duration of her circling. The bad of this is that we're getting a little more sloppy work from her and a little more franticness. Even though our criteria has been stabilization, by pushing this duration out, what we'll end up getting in the next repetition is more stabilization and an ability to handle a little more turning. Now back to calm. Always calm on the object. Calm, clear head. On this repetition, we're just looking to show the puppy the decoy stealing the basket and to bite as soon as the decoy steals the basket. Notice the handler come in and make this about being a team. She's always there to support the dog. Now a backwards attempt. That way the dog sees different pictures right in the very beginning of the foundation. Defensive handler. Notice once again, tug mimics the leg. I walk up, going to practice the handshake, the greeting hello, eventually a cue for contact healing. Pet the dog so the dog is always comfortable being pet by the decoy. Goodbye, now the cue to focus on the decoy and rotate. Again, working on stabilization, a little more stabilization, hit and give the bite. That way we teach that hit cue means to bite. Once the dog's bit, it's just like posting. Go right back to the same concepts we were working on in the very first clip. Touching, feeling different parts of the body, and teaching her how to be comfortable being touched all over. Right after being touched all over, we give her a chance to drive in and satiate on the bite. And of course, specific to this dog, always back to calm. Calm, relaxed work. This repetition, we end up doing the opposite sides for both the rotation and for the leg. The first repetition, I put it on the left leg. This time I put it on the right leg. Greeting hello, exit goodbye, goodbye, and this means turn and rotate. Now we're rotating counterclockwise instead of clockwise, showing all pictures that the dog might see. Megan makes a sidestep, she makes contact, and I mark it with a hit and give the bite. Here I cause stimulation, little excitement, and then right back to calm. Calm, letting her drive in, cup the bottom of the mouth, push on the forehead, and that way I engage both our opposition and I can help calm her and make her more relaxed with a more clear head on the bite. By adding in a little bit of touching on every single repetition, she's gotten steadily more and more comfortable being touched both by the handler and the decoy all over her body. You'll notice that I'm adding a little stimulation in the tug just to help make it a little easier in the places that I'm touching her or Meagan's touching her. You'll notice consistently I'm always working on keeping a calm, clear head in my dog. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and definitely give it a share.